Go on, sit down. You know why you're here, young lady, don't you?
Hello ladies and gentlemen, my name is Kieran and welcome back to Remothered Broken Porcelain. Now today we have a brand new trailer to dive into, but before we do that, there are a few tidbits of information I just want to touch on briefly first. I say briefly, but it's actually most of the video. The first massive bit of news I haven't covered on the channel just yet is that Broken Porcelain has been delayed. So for those who have been out of the loop, the game was meant to be out around about this time. I think it was like August 21st, I think, maybe? I don't know, this is just me off the top of my head. But the game has been delayed until October 20th. Which to me, to be honest, is quite alright, because that means I have a great horror game to look forward to this Halloween. And I do love it when a good horror game comes out on Halloween, I must admit. I already planned on playing Tormented Fathers around this time as well, so maybe I can do like a back-to-back run of the game. So like the night before on October 19th or something like that, I can play Tormented Fathers, then straight on the 20th, right into Broken Porcelain. In other news, the Remothered Twitter account announced that Chris Darrell will be doing a Ask Me Anything video, and judging from the questions and the replies, we're going to be getting a lot of cool information about just the development of the Remothered IP instead of just Broken Porcelain information, so I'm excited to dive more into that. I do love diving into like the concept stages of IPs and things like that, so I'm excited for that video when it comes out. One last thing before diving into the new trailer, I just want to address the game's story for a second. So over the last few months I've been discussing whether or not this game is a prequel or not. In my opinion, back then anyway, I was like, yeah, it must be a prequel. Rosemary looks a ton younger, we're playing as Jennifer, we're in the hotel, and I was like speculating about it, and I just took it as fact that this game was a prequel. But after a lot of debate and after a lot of discussion in the comments section, I went over to Twitter and I DM'd Chris and I was like, what is this game? Is this game a prequel? Is it a sequel? Is it a pre-sequel? And he responded with, this game takes place in the past, present and future. So yeah, so there's your answer. So my guess is that when he's talking about the future, it's going back to the whole old lady being interviewed by the guy, and she's continuing telling the tale and continue the story of Remothered, and then the present will be Rosemary continuing to search for Celeste, and then in the past, we have Jennifer, which would be the majority of the game. To support this, over on the website, they even updated the story synopsis. After her expulsion from an all-girls boarding school, the rebellious Jen suffers an injury attempting to escape from the Ashmann Inn, where she was sent to serve as one of the maids. Together with her new friend and fellow maid, a timid violinist named Lynn, Jennifer slowly becomes aware of the manor's unsettling history. As the two girls begin to observe strange occurrences involving the inn's residents, a haunting figure lurking within the halls, and an ominous presence from inside the hotel, the duo must escape from their prison with the truth and their lives. Meanwhile, the enigmatic Rosemary Reed encounters an old nemesis, the since disfigured owner of the Ashmann Inn, in her continued search for Celeste Felton, a young girl who vanished years before under unexplainable circumstances. Closer to the answer she seeks than ever before, Reed will uncover everyone's roles in this twisted plot, for better or for worse. Funny how they call her Celeste here, kinda suggesting that Jennifer isn't actually Celeste, but they are, in fact, the same character. You're throwing in confusion there, you're not going to confuse me. So yeah, in this synopsis, there is a few things we can take away from it. So, Jennifer tries to escape from the Ashmann Inn for unknown reasons, we don't really know, but that explains why her arm is broken. So, there is that's your answer there. And then there is the part about the since disfigured owner of the Ashmann Inn. The since disfigured owner of the Ashmann Inn. We will dive more into that in a little bit. For now, let's dive into the trailer. So with the Residents of Ashmann Inn trailer, we do get a lot more dialogue than ever before. The first 30 seconds are more of the same shots as we see in other trailers, you know, Jennifer walking in, she has the broken arm, she investigates the mirror, the same sort of thing. But this time there's a wee door creaking behind her though, I wonder what's lurking through there. So after the usual trailer shots, we do get some dialogue from Stefano Ashmann, the owner of the Ashmann Inn, which appears to be one of the earlier scenes in the game. We also get some dialogue between Jennifer and Lynn when Jennifer first appears at the inn. That's strangely rhymed. It's here where they reveal a tiny bit of information about the Flemington Girls Institute, the school that Jennifer got sent to and away from. So yeah, apparently if you cause too much trouble at this girls' boarding school, if you cause too much hassle or break too many rules, you're sent away to become a maid. That's, yeah, that's kind of strange. That's kind of a weird punishment for some reason. Later on, we do see some of the residents start to suffer and see the phenoxyl start to take over. One of the maids, Alyssa, is seen breaking down because of either phenoxyl or maybe something else, I don't know. My guess is that she's still being mind controlled by the porcelain, but we shall see. One major thing that I'm still kinda confuzzled by when it comes to these trailers is the Red Nun. She is seen talking to Jennifer and even warning her to leave and just go away. And then later on she is shown attacking her with a flamethrower. So I'm curious what's happening there. Also, if you listen closely to the Red Nun's dialogue, just brief little dialogue, it does sound like Gloria from Tormented Father, so I'm kinda leaning more towards her being the Red Nun this time around instead of my previous thought being Rosemary. Which, to be honest, it does make sense that Gloria returns here because her brother is the owner of the Ashmann Inn, but I was personally hoping for Rosemary to be the Red Nun just because it would be a cool reveal. I don't know, it'd be a cool little twist in there. Let me know what you guys think of Gloria potentially returning down in the comments. Also, in a quick little shot, we do get a glimpse at a metronome, so maybe we're going to be seeing more mesmerising during this game as well. Maybe Gloria's getting some practice in before going and dealing with the felons. Final thing I want to talk about is with Mr. Ashmann himself near the end, who is talking to Rosemary. So my theory here is that at the end of the trailer, right, we do see the Red Nun going around, going ham with the flamethrower, doing a bit of damage to the inn itself. So my guess is that she severely burns Stefano, who then reappears later on in the game, going forward into the present, and then showing him as a burnt victim. I don't know, I'm sort of thinking that, but it could possibly not be that as well. Anyway, that's most of the important stuff that I gathered on the recent trailer. What do you all think about the new trailer? What do you all think of Residents of the Ashmann Inn? Is there anything that I also missed in the trailer as well? Please let me know down in the comments below. Also, I just noticed I said y'all there, like I'm a bloody American. I don't know where that came from, honestly. Special thanks to my lovely wee patrons, KG, Proxy1, Enigma Plays 115, and TG Monster for your continued support over my Patreon. Thank you guys so much. I do really appreciate it. But yeah, Remothered, Broken Porcelain. I'm excited to see more. I'm always loving to dive into more information, but I do hope we get a bit less going in because, again, I do love the mystery around it. I don't want many questions being answered leading up to the launch of this game. So yeah, I'm just curious how the marketing campaign is going to last for the next 2 months with this game. I'm curious if it's going to get more quieter or if they're going to show more gameplay. I don't know, like I'm kind of curious there. But yeah, thank you so much for watching the video and I shall be seeing y'all later. Bye bye.